Warning. Channel Robozoid contains adult language, adult content, strong opinions, and verbal brutality. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, it is I, the Robozoid, your semi-likable and occasionally tolerable curmudgeon of the YouTube and Rumble channels on this kind of dark and rainy afternoon here. And I have to apologize for the way my throat sounds. I had lunch a little while ago, and I think I may have swallowed some ketchup in the wrong place. So that's the reason why my throat might sound a little out of whack here. But speaking of things out of whack, we have to talk about, you probably might remember that silly, ridiculous commercial that moron Mamdani, the supposed mayor of New York City, now turned into New Yorkistan under his failed leadership. He did this ridiculous ad pushing socialism out in front of Ken Griffin's apartment complex building. And of course, it caused a firestorm of controversy, not surprisingly, considering the stupid people all bought into it very easily, the ones that think that socialism is a good idea. Let me tell you something, you little shits. Socialism, to quote Margaret Thatcher, is only a good idea until you run out of other people's money. And that's why you should invest in capitalism. It is so much better for you. In any case, well, it seems that Ken Griffin and also the company of Citadel have actually fired back against moron Mamdani, and rightfully so, because what Mamdani did was immature, stupid, not to mention unbelievably brash and bullying. So, without further ado, what do you say we get into the CNBC newsreel clip here that was streamed on CNBC Plus that basically explains moron Mamdani's bogus actions and what it led to. Take a look.
Citadel blasting New York's mayor Zero Momsdummy for singling out CEO Ken Griffin in a push for a new pied-à-terre tax in New York targeting wealthy non-resident homeowners. At issue is this social media video. It was filmed right outside of Griffin's New York residence, in which the mayor unveiled that proposed tax on homes valued above $5 million when the owner's primary residence is outside of New York City. In a memo obtained by CNBC, Citadel said that targeting Griffin showed, quote, ignorance and disdain towards contributors to the city's economy. Citadel highlighted that its employees, including non-residents, paid nearly
and it is true that Griffin actually is one of New York's top contributors.
To the firm's planned redevelopment of 350 Park Avenue, a project expected to generate about 6,000 construction jobs and more than 15,000 permanent roles, with spending to exceed $6 billion. And I think if you really read the memo carefully, there's a little bit of a threat in there.
Several days later.
Speaking of warm greetings, I was going to do this, wanted to do this interview outside your apartment, but
she knew that would be awkward
and weird. So how did you feel about the mayor's little video?
It was creepy and weird.
Couldn't have said it better.
I mean, like, knock on the window. Like, huh. Mayor of New York
knock
City.
On the screen, yeah.
Yeah, on the screen, like.
Yeah. How many times have you watched that video?
Three.
What
I
are you
had
going to
go
do
back.
about it?
I couldn't help myself.
You had to what?
I had to go back and look at it again. I mean, like, you literally looked at the first time, you're like, you got to be kidding me. Okay? And then the second time, you're like, you know what, this has gone from creepy to actually not really creepy. This has gone frightening because, you know, the CEO of United Healthcare was killed just a few blocks from my house. And anything that creates like an agitation in the extremist on either side of the aisle is a frightening dynamic. I mean, you know, if we look at what happened in DC.
For whatever reason, you actually had moron Mamdani just acting like he's still campaigning, like he's still holding another rally. Then again, President Trump still does the same thing, but he doesn't push socialism like Mamdani does. And it was a very stupid prank that he pulled outside of Ken Griffin's house in New York, because Ken Griffin is the billionaire who owns Citadel, and now he is fighting mad. I mean, he is fighting back here with everything he's got. And yeah, he is extremely pissed off about it. Maybe not as pissed off as I'd like him to be, but here's what he actually had to say in response. Take a look.
Front in Manhattan's tax tussle with billionaires, business leaders, and politicians all in the mix today. Governor Hochul is meeting with billionaire Ken Griffin, trying to ease tensions with the hedge fund CEO.
Well, it didn't work, did it?
Their tax. Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuckman live outside the governor's office on Manhattan's east side. Lindsay?
Yes, Sandra, the governor actually said that this meeting with Ken Griffin was scheduled months ago before...
Given that her last name is Tuckman, which is a Jewish name, I would be very, very careful if I were her.
Despite it being scheduled several months ago, we all expect that it is likely going to be a big topic today. We also understand that they will be talking about the future direction of New York City in this meeting. We are here outside of the governor's office, but this also comes as local city leaders are discussing ways to close the budget gap in the city. Now, Ken Griffin is the billionaire CEO and founder of the hedge fund and market trading firm Citadel, and it is, again, expected that him and Governor Kathy Chokehold will be discussing the tax on second homes that has been proposed in New York for second homes worth more than $5 million, aka the pied-à-terre tax. Now, Griffin made headlines recently when Mayor Mamdani called him out, as well as his Manhattan home, by name in a video pushing for that tax. Griffin called it a personal attack that could be rather dangerous.
He's right.
To have his home online like that. Mamdani, meantime, though, has been pushing to quote-unquote tax the rich, pleading as well for more money from state lawmakers to close the city's $5 billion budget gap. He will also be meeting with business leaders here in New York. Specifically today, Mayor Mamdani is meeting with Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan this afternoon, and this comes after he met with Chobani CEO Hamdi Ulukaya on Monday. So as for what Griffin and Hochul will be discussing, well, the CEO was at an investment conference in Oslo this week where he said they're likely to talk about his company's planned office tower at 350 Park Avenue and if that still will be moving forward after this event. Governor Hochul also spoke about their meeting.
I meet business leaders all the time. This was previously scheduled. We just changed the exact timing of it, but I already had this on the books. I meet business leaders all the time. So we booked this a while ago.
We'll talk about
What is it with the politicians and the blue jacket? You know, like they're trying to pretend to be like the regular people. Just stop doing that.
Of a strong government that's pro-business, or are they looking to play? Why do the Americans think we can do socialism? Like, we have none of that in our DNA, and we're just going to screw it up.
Well, on that note, members of the New York City Democratic Socialists, as well as other local leaders and New Yorkers, are planning to rally outside the governor's office here later tonight. That's why you can see these barricades have been set up. And that is because there was another rally and protest held recently where 19 people were arrested. Obviously, that they do not want that to happen this time, but the ralliers say that they will be pushing for further taxes on the rich, including a raised tax for New Yorkers making more than $1 million. That protest is being held later tonight.
This is bad comedy.
Now you know the reason why Ken Griffin is so pissed off, and rightfully so, because let's face it, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, whatever the hell they're called, they are a generation of losers, okay? A complete generation of fucking losers that, honest to God, think that socialism is a good idea, that socialism works, and, you know, just the government will do everything for you. Wait for the world to come to you, you know, while you sit around and sulk about how much your life sucks. Yeah, fine. That can only get you so far, you socialist creeps. But the truth is, it's up to you to actually do something about it to make your life better. And you got to do that on your own. The government cannot and will not do that for you. So Ken Griffin is absolutely in the right when he is pissed off at Zero Momsdummy, who, quite frankly, I think there should be a special recall election against him in New York City. Or better yet, just impeach the bastard. Find somebody else. You know, and of course, Kathy Chokehold's little meeting didn't exactly go over very well with him at all, did it? No, apparently not, because he won the argument, she lost. I mean, she's not the greatest fan of moron Momsdummy, but then again, she didn't really bring any solutions to the table now, did she? Of course not. Because, well, she's just another one of these dumb Democrat jackanapes who honestly thinks, word of the day, jackanapes, who honestly thinks that, hey, what am I going to do about Mamdummy's plan? Who am I? I'm just the governor. I'm just a woman, after all. Sure, just a weak little woman who can't do anything against the big, powerful, brutish, Muslim, I'm going to say it. I don't care if YouTube has a problem with it, but I will say it. He's a camel fucker, okay? You know, the closest this guy ever actually got to real romance was when he probably got it on with a camel. And so, frankly, she should be doing something about it as governor because that's a higher office than mayor. But I guess really Ken Griffin has to do the job that she can't or won't do. I mean, Ken Griffin, if you wanted to move back to New York City, for whatever reason, if you wanted to move back to New York City and run against moron Mamdani as mayor, give it a shot. You might find that a lot of New Yorkers will actually vote for you and support you after the mess that moron Mamdani has made of New York City. Just something to think about. This has been the Robozoid saying, well, I hope you have enjoyed this video for as brief as it probably was. And I better have myself a nice cup of tea right about now for my throat. Until then, hey, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and of course, remember that I'm on Rumble as well. You can check me out over there. In fact, I recommend you do. I'm treated a lot better over there than I am over here. And, of course, what else should I say? Oh, yeah, of course, wokeness is weakness. Moron Mamdani is an asshole. He'll never learn that lesson. And be here or be absolutely nowhere else. Which, quite frankly, most of the other channels are nowhere else.